Hi, everybody. Welcome to Do It with Passion. My name is Alexa Diaz, and as you all know, we're highlighting really important people for the month of April. People who give and expect nothing from it. People who we know their stories, but we want them to be able to share their stories so that you can understand where people are coming from and what it entails to be a volunteer. Today, I have two very special guests who I'm so happy they were able to say yes and that they're accompanying us. I have Jeff and Ivi Spiro, which is Company of the Year and my Colombiana favorita right there. How are you both doing today?
We're doing great.
We're doing great. Thank you for having us.
Of course, I love that we're able to actually talk to both of you because I definitely would love to hear a little bit of how you got involved with JA. I know you and I, Jeff, go very far. It's been maybe 15 years, could it be?
About 18 years now.
18 years. Could you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with JA?
Sure. First off, I think JA is a phenomenal organization, great place, wonderful, wonderful people. I worked for an organization that we had a few people in our company that was extremely passionate about junior achievement. And you could just see it and you could feel it. And it was something that I needed to investigate. And that's exactly what I did. I started looking at junior achievement. I had a couple of people there at your main office, which used to be down off of Atlantic, asked me if I wanted to teach. I go, teach? I do sales. I've been a sales manager, a district area manager, and I never taught a class, but I did some sales training. And I figured, with the right encouragement and the right push from junior achievement, there I was. So I started teaching some classes in the area. I also did a couple of the phenomenal charity events that you guys put together, and I was very proud to be on the board for some of those charity events. And I continued teaching. Then I had to drop out a little bit for some time there for some changes in work career, but I came right back. And I am the one now that spreads the word about junior achievement by just spilling out that passion to others that they need to get involved in this. I remember I was there for the groundbreaking at BizTown, and it's still a great memory that I've got. And again, a great organization. I'm now doing something very different than what I started doing with JA. Now teaching class, but we're doing the entrepreneurship program. What a great experience. And I'm very happy and proud to say right now that the class is in the finals.
Yeah.
And we're doing very well. And shout out to the class if they get to see this. And
from Beach. Oh my God. I'm so excited because I know that obviously we've talked about the different areas that you've been able to help us with. And we were talking one day, and I know that, JA is so dear to your heart. And this opportunity came up where an 8th grade class was going to be doing our fellows program where the students create their own company. And when I mentioned it to you, you didn't even skip. You were like, I'm in. Where is it? When do I have to be there? And when those students met you, oof, it was like a match made in heaven.
Love it. Love every moment, the excitement, the electricity within the room, and teacher involvement. It's good all around for the students, teacher, and the staff of the school, because they get involved in our program too, because we're promoting a new product. And it's just great to see how they develop from day one all the way through the school year. And it's just another part of junior achievement that just goes to show you that every spoke in the wheel of junior achievement is just full of passion, full of love, full of caring, just a great place to be associated with. I would like to thank you guys for allowing me to be part of that.
No, thank you. I really do see some of when they ask us about opportunities to volunteer with JA, I say we kind of have the Cheesecake Factory menu of options available. So anything that you can think of, we will make it happen. And I know that this is with the opening of BizTown is when Miss Evie started helping us out. My dear Evie, I'm so happy that you're here, that, you have been our bank queen, our BB&T, even though that wasn't your background. You worked with a few other banks. But tell us a little bit about your experience. You became, obviously you help us out in the Capstone facilities with the 5th graders and the 8th graders in BizTown and Finance Park. But tell us a little bit about your thoughts and about your experience being a volunteer for JA.
Yes. So, having been in banking for over 32 years, and when Jeff brought it up to me that I was looking for volunteer work because I had gotten hurt and I didn't go to, I quit my banking career for a couple of years. And I said, I'm ready to do some volunteer work. And he brought up JA, and I called, I think I emailed you, or I emailed the person that was in charge at that time that worked with you. And I went in and I volunteered specifically for the bank. And I could not believe my eyes when I walked in there and I saw what these 5th graders, the opportunity that is given to them to have a true life experience where they come in and they're running their own business. And they are the bank manager or the CFO or the CEO, and then you have a real teller and real money. And then all these children in this town are running the town. And I was like blown away from day one. And I just absolutely loved it. And to see these kids' eyes when they walk in, to see what goes on in this one-day experience for them, what they walk out with is unbelievable. How they learn real life, how to spend money wisely, how to save money wisely, what is a debit card, what is a checking account, and how to run a business. Really amazing. And the variety of schools that come through JA, which is all the schools in Broward County, also working with the teachers and the other volunteers, is like an amazing, it's been an amazing experience. And I'm looking forward in the future when things get back to normal that I can go back and start doing it again.
What do you think, when you think of your experience with these students, when you go back home, do you remember kind of some things that they said to you that you thought were so funny? Or it's so cool because at the end of the day, they are so honest, right? And so when we are talking to them and we're seeing, their jaws drop as they come in, and we were talking earlier today at a meeting, and we were saying, what is special to you? What's an aha moment about JA? And a lot of the examples our staff gave where when our students come into our facility and they're able to see, and who knows what their experience is. A lot of these students come from low-income backgrounds, they're free and reduced lunch schools. And so for them to be able to have an opportunity to be able to come to a facility like JA, is there anything that maybe you can remember of maybe a student telling you, or something that stayed with you that was an aha moment for you?
Yeah, I had many, but I can remember one in particular. There was this young girl in 5th grade. She came in, and they come all dressed up, very proud. They prepare for the program for 2-3 months prior to coming for the day. So they kind of have an idea of what they're going to get into it. But this particular girl, she was going to be my CFO at the bank. And I started asking her questions. She was so excited. And she says to me, my mother is a banker. She works at so-and-so bank. And I said, oh, really? What is your mother's name? Because I used to work at that bank. She gave me her mother's name. And sure and behold, I know her mother. Her mother used to work for me at that bank. So we called her mother that day on FaceTime. And her mother was so excited that I was going to be her volunteer for the day. I took lots of pictures. And this little girl was like so proud that she was the CFO and that she was learning with me. And by the end of the day, she was going to go back and share her experience with her mother. But she had no idea, although she learned everything in the classroom, what she was going to walk into and do. She was like, I had no idea that I'm actually going to be dealing with like real payroll. I'm actually going to print a real payroll check for the tellers. I'm actually going to sign the check, and then going through the whole exercise of them depositing their payroll check and going shopping and really teaching them, how to manage their money and how not to overdraw their account. And she's like, these are things that my mother talks about at home, and I'm so happy that I'm able to, experience it. And she says, I want to be a banker when I grow up, because that's what she chose with her teacher. So there are many stories like that. And so that was one of my very beginning experiences at JA at this time.
It's interesting. You see them and they're all dressed up. I mean, you see the boys wearing suits and ties. They're in 5th grade and in 8th grade. Or the girls wearing heels, and they take off the heels by the next 20 minutes that they're there, because they really did not understand what the concept of wearing heels was.
Yes.
So many of these students, have learned so many things, yet not something that they've learned in school and put into practice, and then eventually would remember for the rest of their lives as they're making different options and they're deciding different and making choices from different options that they have available. So, I mean, it's really important, I think, from the perspective of fellows, the fellows program, my dear Jeff. Was this something that when you talk to 8th graders, because usually the fellows program are high school students, how is it when you're talking to these, because you have taught it to high school students, and then you decided to jump, the gun and say, okay, we're going to do it with middle school students. Alexa, let me figure this out and see what we can do. And how did you feel it was from that perspective? We know Beachside is a Montessori school, but how did you feel with the 8th graders going through such a program?
Well, you said it very correctly. Let's see how it works. And it was an unbelievable experience to see the first day of class where they were like, well, what is this? Who is this? We remember when we went to 5th grade, we went to BizTown, and this was a whole new approach for them. And once we started telling them that this is not playtime, this is not a lesson, this is real. You've got a checkbook. There's cash in there. You, class, you will be talking to the vendors. You will be figuring out supply chain. We had an accounting department that we created with 4 students. They had to create the spreadsheets. I would walk into the class and ask, how much money do we have? Had to have an answer. We had a management team that was responsible to make sure that all this is being done. So between sales and marketing, supply, accounting, it was an amazing experience, absolutely for them, but for me, to see 8th graders and now competing with high school level, they embraced it. They realized how real this was, and they are just trudging up right ahead and doing a great job. And I can't tell you how proud I am of them, and what a great experience. I learned more, in my opinion, than they did, because I learned it from the mental side of it, of how they go about and figure things out. Nothing compared to the emotional side of seeing the success. And when we do the event, the parents of these children, they come and think, oh, well, what is this? Another little school program. And they start to realize how in-depth this program is. And it was them that ran it. It was not forced onto them. They embraced it and grew with it. And they are just great. Great program. Again, junior achievement, phenomenal work.
Well, you guys are in our hearts, and obviously we would never be able to do what we do without the component of having quality volunteers, people who want to help us change the lives of our future. I think, how far are these students getting this opportunity then that we ever did? I mean, this was something that I never really had when I was growing up. I had to learn the hard way, making decisions that I really had no clue how much they would affect us. And so being able to have you as experienced consultants for these students is how I put it, so that they understand, because you're there, you're not getting paid, and you're there to make a difference in their lives, so that when they leave, they will always remember what they learned through us. So I can't, just appreciating you is my number one priority, making sure that you all know how important and crucial you are to our lives. And I'm excited we have a whole month to be able to celebrate you all, because I know even though you don't even want the recognition and you're like, Alexa, whatever, just tell me what I need to do and I'll get to work. It is important to stop and learn from your experiences and see where you come from and how much you're actually able to change the lives of the students. So I thank you guys every day. I am so blessed to have you all in my life. You've taught me so much. And I look forward to everything else we're going to do in the future together.
Absolutely. And we look
Thank
forward to the
you.
future. Thank you.
And thank you so much for being here. And
Anytime.
we're so excited to see you again, hopefully in person, and give you all hugs and just take advantage of the amazing opportunities you give our students. So thank you again and again.
Thank you for the
Thank
opportunities.
you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye now.
Thank you so much.